We're the Wests. We're the Wests.
Keenan,
We're
Johnny,
the
Kai, Kelsey
West.
Cohen.
We're
Keenan, Johnny, Kai,
the
Kelsey
West.
Cohen. And we're reclaiming our identity.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our channel, Reclaiming Our Identity. And today we are going to be diving a little bit into who we are and why we chose to make this channel and why we decided to call it Reclaiming Our Identity. And so I guess I'll start off. My name is Keenan West, and this is my wife, Janine.
I had to think about it.
And we currently are stationed in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, better yet, no, we're in Hermitage, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. And
We're not in the military. We're not stationed here.
we kind of are stationed here.
We're assigned to minister to a district here.
So we're stationed here.
Okay.
So I am a pastor, and my wife is a doctor of physical therapy. Originally I was born in Wilmington, Delaware. I was raised in Washington, D.C. My wife is from Atlanta, Georgia. And we have, as you have seen in a couple videos prior to this one, we have three beautiful children, Kaya, Kelsey, and Cohen. And I guess we'll talk about
why we named the channel Reclaiming Our Identity.
Yes, because I'm sure there are those who probably, because I know sometimes when I look at people's YouTube channels, I always wonder, why did where did this come from? Mm-hmm. And so the reason why we named it Reclaiming Our Identity is because I guess about a couple of years ago, me being a pastor, I was studying the Bible and found out that a lot of the people, that we typically think are, European in the Bible are not European. And so I ended up writing a book, Identity Theft, Uncovering the Truth About Black History in the Bible. And I am currently, currently started selling it on my webpage, reclaimingmyidentity.org.
So we thought it made sense, since we are going through the process of preparing and planning and considering actually moving to Africa with our entire family, that it would be a cute name for the channel as well.
Right, Reclaiming Our Identity. So I guess, I'm sure people, especially those who are maybe from the diaspora, and also maybe those who are from,
living
on the continent, are probably wondering, what is the catalyst? Why do we want to move? And
you know what I'm thinking?
You're probably thinking that I should be the one who tells why we want to move.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So,
and
ever since I began,
we is real relevant.
Ever since I began looking, into the African presence in the Bible, the Black presence in the Bible, it is just given me a yearning and a desire to want to connect with my brothers and sisters on the continent. And so, literally, I guess probably over the last year or so, I've just had this burning desire for us to leave America and go back to the motherland.
Yeah, but so honey, you used the word "it started," but remember, it was years in the making. This developed gradually over time, and then it was like ripples in the ocean, and then it grew into waves, and then it grew into a tsunami where he just felt this overwhelming pull, that is what he calls it. But it started before we went to Kenya in 2018, which is why we went to Kenya, because we decided that we would start vacationing more. We're very big advocates of putting our money where our mouth is, and our resources supporting causes, institutions, and retail, spaces that are doing good things with our dollars. And we don't have a lot. We're not wealthy by any means. And we are Christians. So we feel a sense of responsibility for where our money goes and what we contribute to. And so it could be something like H&M comes out with the t-shirts with the little monkey, and they put that on the black boy and advertise that. And then it has some phrase on there. I can't remember what it was. And then a Caucasian little boy had on the lion as the king of the jungle. And, there was backlash and that, and uproar, and they got caught up in cancel culture, I'll have to say. But we would be that family that says, okay, no more H&M if they're going to portray us in that light, because it happened on more than one occasion with that particular company. And so there's things like that. So we said, okay, we're going to take it a step further. We like to travel with our family. We like to enjoy family time together and go places with our children. And we said, well, we won't just support Black businesses. We're going to support Black tourism, and we're going to take our Black money to Black countries, even in the Caribbean too. We were saying that too, and support those economies. And that's kind of, it was starting to build up from there. And we took our first trip together to Africa by going to Kenya, and it just built more.
Yeah, because I remember when we went to Kenya in 2018. Yes, I did say, if we can afford it, I want us to go to a different African country every single year.
He was like, we're not going to Hawaii anymore. Well, let's not go to Cabo San Lucas anymore. Well, let's go. There are plenty of places in Africa that we can go and have a wonderful time, and that are beautiful and just as, relaxing and engaging as some of these other places. So there went my trip to Greece and Mykonos and Santorini that we have yet to take.
Yes, because the thing is, everybody always goes to all of those places, and we never, especially as African Americans, as people of color, we never look at Africa as being a tourist destination. And so usually what happens is the only time that people go to Africa is for, if they're going to do mission work or something like that.
In fact, I was asked, oh, you're going to Africa? Are you going on a mission trip?
Right. No, we're going on vacation.
Yeah. But, remember our conversation, we met a really, really nice gentleman when we were in Tanzania. We got an Uber, and you remember that driver who was so curious about the African American perspective of Africans.
Yes.
And
yes.
he had such a sweet spirit, and he was so kind, and just very intrigued and very curious about how we felt about them, and vice versa, because I think my husband asked him first.
Yeah,
what
I
is
started the
perspective?
conversation.
And so he wanted to know, like I said, how we felt about them and what is the perception here. And we talked about the fact, I told him that one of the reasons why a lot of African Americans don't view Africa as a tourist destination is because it's not marketed to us that way. We don't see it. So of course, when you think of vacation, you're going to think of Hawaii or Jamaica or Barbados or St. Lucia or St. Croix or Turks and Caicos. Don't hate me if I'm leaving out your place. But, you're going to think of the places where you see commercials for and media advertisements while you're on YouTube or you're flipping through magazines, and you see, that's what you're going to think of when you think of vacation, because it is presented to you. So there is some ownership on the marketing side, I said, do you not have a minister of tourism, that maybe could do some commercials and show the beautiful places in Africa that there are to come and explore, and the benefits and the upside to coming to Africa, so that African Americans can see that and be intrigued and their interest peaked, because out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and I mean, I mean, there has to be more done, but also we have to, we have to look outside of the box. And going back to what you were saying before about the, where are we spending our money, especially when we think about everything that's happening in this country and how, we are being treated. And that doesn't just happen here. That happens, in all of the other, places around the globe where Black people are. And so, we just felt like, hey, we're going to spend our money, to be honest, with our people. And so I've had this, as my wife said, it's been a slow ripple. And so now it's become a tsunami where the feeling is overwhelming. It's like, and I like, that, you use an example of, it's like an individual being adopted and they're explaining.
I was talking to one of my best friends about our trip, and she wanted to know, where did this desire come from? Why do you want to, how did Keenan even get interested? And I said, the best way I can describe it is that from my experiencing it with him on this end, is that it reminds me of a child who has been adopted by a family, and they did not know they were adopted, but they felt this void and this absence and this gap and this need for something. And then as they got older, they feel that void needing to be explained and filled even more. And they're being pulled to something outside of themselves. And then maybe they explore and they find out, yes, indeed, they have been adopted. And that piques it even more. Now they've got to, not only be aware of it, but dig more into it and connect with it and
your original,
reconnect and attach to that which was part of them that they really did not grow up with.
Right. And I think that's the perfect way of explaining it, because it feels like that it's a void.
A piece of you missing that you didn't even know. A piece of me missing that I didn't know. And it's just an overwhelming feeling, like every single day, that is what's on my mind. Okay, going back home. And my wife will tell you, we talk about it every day. When we say every day, and I'm sure she would say literally every single day. When I come home, is watching YouTube videos of
houses available in Africa.
Yes. Somebody showing restaurants in Ghana, or going through Accra and, giving some real estate tips on the lay of the land, what the cost is going to be like, or what have you. So that's kind of what where all of this came from. And so, our plan is, we went to Tanzania in, last month. And so I know some people are viewing and they've looked at some of the videos and they think we're still in Tanzania. We are not in Tanzania. We are actually back home. And so the videos that you're seeing are videos that we are uploading, every, a video every couple days or a week or something like that. So we have several videos. We still have so many more stories to tell you guys. So let me tell you now,
tuned.
Like the videos
and
subscribe.
Hit the notification button.
Yes. So you'll know when we post it up, because there's just so much more to say.
Yes. So we are, like I said, we went to Tanzania. So of course, 2018, we went to Kenya, went to Tanzania in March.
So now's a good time to say, why specifically did we go to Tanzania on this trip?
So we went to Tanzania because we are in the future, in the future, we are looking to move to Africa. And so Tanzania is one of those places that we looked at. And so we're going to be, we looked at Tanzania. We will be visiting Ghana later this year, Lord willing. And we're just going to, see where the Lord will have us to be. But it is, I know without a shadow of a doubt that we won't be in America in 5, 10, 15 years. I mean, that is, that's obvious. That is clear. And so it's been several things. It's been, just that feeling of want to reconnect or want to connect with the motherland, but also everything that is happening here in America. And I'm sure there are a lot of, those from the diaspora who are, feeling the same way. There are a lot of people who are moving to Tanzania and Ghana and, in different other African countries because of everything that's taking place in America, with the racism, with the social justice issues and just everything. And so, we just don't feel like we belong here. And because of that, we really want to be, I want to make sure that my children are raised in an environment. I have a 4-year-old son, and I want to make sure that my 4-year-old son, is not, when he gets old enough, you can't even say old enough to drive, but old enough to be outside on his own, he's not mistaken for,
not viewed as a threat. He could be riding his tricycle
with a toy
that looks threatening.
Right. And from
somebody's perspective.
Yeah.
But I have to say, honey, you know I got to keep it all the way real. I don't know that I would say I don't feel, what did you say? I don't feel like I belong here. I don't necessarily feel that way because, it is all that I have ever known. I know that there are places here that I don't feel welcome or equal. I don't feel that I am viewed as valuable or intelligent or beautiful or what have you as some of my counterparts. There are times when I am frustrated and uncomfortable with what society has created in our, in our current environment, exactly. But as far as a sense of belonging, that comes from a place bigger and much more intimate and personal than just where I reside. My sense of belonging comes more from, my village, my family, particularly, and my network of people who I know love me or what have you. So with that said, I'm sure some people are curious to know, is this a thing that both of us are ready to jump into head first? And I'll just suffice it to say now it's something that I am open to, very much so, and I'm willing to do. I'm on board with it. But my level of excitement and enthusiasm for it is not exactly what my husband's is. And we're a praying couple. So we are praying that we even out and that the desire is still the same because, I know that he doesn't want to move knowing that I feel hesitant about it and uncomfortable. And I don't ever want to make a huge decision like that, uprooting my entire family, especially with the vulnerability of the psyche of our children and the amount of trauma that could present to them, just taking them from everything they know. As a mother, that weighs on me. I think about that a lot. And if it weren't for that, I'd be a lot more enthusiastic about it. If our children were in graduate school, they've lived a lot of their lives the way they typically would have expected to because that's what they've seen around them and that's the way, the American way or what have you. And I knew for a fact that they would be 100% okay without ever visiting their cousins again, with whom they're extremely close. They're more like sisters than cousins. If I knew that all of those would be 100% all right, and I'm confident that the Holy Spirit can get me there, I am all on board with whatever God's will is. And so this desire that is in my husband for our family to repatriate back to Africa had to have come from somewhere. As strong as it is, I can't think it came from somewhere bad. So we have spoken to someone, gotten counsel, and their words were, I just need to pray that whatever is potentially blocking me from having the same level of enthusiasm as him, that blockage be removed. And so, I'm still on that journey.
And I don't expect, I did not, because what I feel, I don't expect my wife to feel that. I mean, it is an overwhelming feeling. I expect that, she'll, get to a place, but we won't be in the exact same place, because, if it were up to me, we'd be gone. We would be doing this video from Africa. After having moved.
But there are other factors involved in us being there than just your desire.
Yes, but I'm just saying, the desire for me, if it were up to me, desire for me is just so strong that I'm ready, so I know that your desire, you're not gonna get to the exact same place. We're not gonna be in the exact same place. Okay. Just because my desire,
it's already exponentially greater. It'll take a while for me to catch up to you. You're saying?
I don't know if you'll get there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll get there.
I don't either.
But that's okay. But the one thing I do love, is the fact that when we got married, one of the things I loved is that my wife, and even now, because I'm a pastor and I move a lot, we move a lot, my wife has always been supportive. She follows me as I follow Christ. And so she trusts that, the decision that, I'm making for the family, is a decision that is being guided by the Holy Spirit. 100%. 100%.
I do believe
and so, that's why, I'm just so grateful to have this, this wonderful woman in my life, because she is, she's so supportive, just think, first of all, I drag her, around, the southeast, of the country, going from church to church, every so many years. And now, talking about dragging her to Africa, and, she's not kicking and screaming and wanting a divorce. So, but she is.
And that's big. That could be a game changer for a couple. I married you this way. First of all, a teacher, didn't even want to marry a pastor. I didn't want to be a pastor's wife. Married him because he was all settled and doing well and advancing in his career as a teacher, became a director. Then the Lord called, and I knew it, because I told him. So, who am I to fight that? And then I do honestly believe as well, if it is not in God's will for us to go, he will make that clear to me, and he will make that clear to him.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to resist. I'm not going to fight. Is it hard for me to leave my close friends, especially the other pastors' wives who I've connected with and have helped me, guiding me and raising my children and bringing me through different challenges? Absolutely. And my family, oh my goodness, my husband will tell you I'm very close to my family. Very, very close to my family. So it's a big, big deal. But like I said, it's a leap I am open to taking if I'm following Christ who is leading him. I'm good with it.
Yeah. And we believe, I believe without a shadow of a doubt that, when the Lord opens, because I believe that this is the Lord's calling. I believe, I don't know when it's going to happen, but the the feeling, is just so strong that it's like, like you said, I mean, I just don't feel like the Lord is going, that this is something he's saying. No, he may be saying, I mean, of course, I mean, wait, I mean, no, of course not right now, not tomorrow. But I mean, I don't see this as, but I'll make a way.
And I mean, that's the other thing. I think that part of the journey is that we will wait for him. We trust God enough to wait for him to open the door and set the path for us to follow. And in the meantime, that gives me time, for whatever that barrier is that makes it so hard for me to be like, when you say we, I'm still not feeling like it's a we. I'm feeling like it's more of a me. Every time he says we, I'm like, I don't know if I use that word. But, and the process of God opening the doors that need to be open, there are finances that have to be set aside. There is debt that has to be paid off because I'm not moving to another continent with debt over here. Housing would have to be established. We would absolutely have to secure a learning environment for our children. So you all can give us some feedback in the comments and tell us what your recommendations, suggestions, experiences have been. If you have repatriated to the continent, if you're thinking about it and you're in the process, all of those things that we have before us, you may have already experienced, and you can help us out. If Ghana is, not where we need to consider,
and put in the
suggestions.
Yeah, put in the comments. Give us some ideas of some places where we should check out. We're going to go to Ghana next, of course. But give us some ideas, some places you think, well, hey, I think this would be a good place for this couple to go.
So let's help them out. What would we be looking for, as far as, because just want to go to a pretty place. We need somewhere with.
I mean, yeah, no, it has to be. Some
infrastructure.
I mean, well, that one of the things I've always said when my wife and I have talked about this is there are going to be problems wherever you go. So there are going to be some things that you're going to have to adjust to, wherever you go. And whether it's me moving from, us moving from one church to another, or one state to another, you got to deal with the traffic here that you didn't have to deal with there. You got all these different things, whatever. And I believe in going to Africa will be the same thing. Going to Tanzania, we had to deal with some infrastructure issues, and we'll talk about that in our one of our next videos.
But I think that's why it's so much easier for you to easily detach and say, let's do that, because for you, it's just another move that you would have made in ministry probably anyway. You're just moving somewhere else.
Not necessarily, because that's although, I mean, I still think of it as, because even when I think about moving, okay, when I watch a video or when we went to Tanzania, in my mind, I'm thinking, I continue to think, okay, Lord, are you saying that this is what you want us to do? This is what you want? I mean, this is a huge, step, whether it's, Tanzania, Ghana, Ethiopia, Kenya, whatever, it's still a huge step, and it's still different from every single thing that I've ever known, and I know you talk about, we've talked about how, she's going to, miss her family and the kids going to miss their cousins and just all sort of stuff, whatever, and I think about, some of the same things. I mean, just detaching from every single thing that I know here, because this is still all that, this is all we know is living here, in America. But, I don't believe that the Lord would take us to something and not see us through it. Mm-hmm. So that is why we are
reclaiming our identity.
That is why we are reclaiming our identity. And let me give you this plug: Identity Theft, Uncovering the Truth About Black History in the Bible by Keenan West. You can get that on Amazon or reclaimingmyidentity.org. We hope that you enjoyed this video, learning a little bit about the West family. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification button, and we will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and for those who are waiting to see the kids, we'll make sure we have them in the next video. Have a good one.